In my previous video, I showed how to create an application in Oracle Apex. Today, to work with that application, you will need some basic SQL knowledge. So, in this video, I will be covering basic SQL concepts. For that, I will first go to the Workspace home page. Here we see SQL Workshop. Now let's go to the SQL Workshop menu. From here, we can access different tools like Object Browser, SQL commands, and SQL scripts. If I move to the Utilities section, you'll see there are many useful options. For example, All Utilities, Data Workshop, Data Generator, Query Builder, Quick SQL, and even tools like Schema Comparison or Object Reports. These utilities help us generate sample data, compare schemas, create tables quickly, or manage our database objects more efficiently. So, SQL Workshop is basically the main place in Apex where we do all our database-related tasks. First, let's open the Object Browser. The Object Browser is a very useful tool inside SQL Workshop. Here, we can see all of our database objects like tables, views, indexes, sequences, and so on. We can perform database tasks in two different ways. The first way is by using the Object Browser, where we can handle database objects through the interface. The second way is from the SQL Workshop, where we need to write SQL code manually to perform these tasks. In this session, I will show you how to create a table using SQL Workshop. Let's create a sample table called depth. Now, let's create our depth table. Here I am writing the SQL statement using the create table command. The first column is depth no, which is of type number 2 and also defined as the primary key. That means this column will uniquely identify each department. The second column is name, which is varchar 2, 14. This will store the department name up to 14 characters. The third column is LOC, which is varchar 2, 13. This will store the location of the department up to 13 characters. Finally, I close the statement with a semicolon. Now let's run this SQL statement. As you can see, the system shows the message table created. Now I'll go to the Object Browser and check. Here under Tables, the depth table is showing, which means it has been created successfully. Here in the Object Browser, we can see the depth table structure. It has 3 columns, depth no as the primary key, name for department name, and LOC for department location. Now I am going to add a new column to the depth table. I have entered the column name as company_name, selected the data type as varchar2 and set the length to 20. Now I'll apply the changes to add this column. We can see that the company_name column has been added to the depth table. I am modifying the company_name column, changing its length from 20 to 30. And then applying the update. Now I am going to rename the column. Here you can see the current column name is company_name, and I am changing it to company_no. After applying, the column will be renamed. Now I am dropping the company_no column from the depth table. After applying, this column will be permanently removed. Now I will explain how to insert data into a table. First, I will show you how to do it by writing SQL code. For example, here we will insert records into the depth table using the insert into statement. Here I am inserting one record into the depth table. The department number is 10, the name is accounting, and the location is New York. Now I'll run this insert statement. The message 1 row inserted confirms the data has been added successfully. Next, I will query the debt table to check the inserted record. Here in the object browser, we can see the data has been inserted successfully, Department 10, Accounting, located in New York. Now I am running the query select asterisk from debt. This will display all the rows from the debt table. As we can see in the output, the table shows one record, Department number 10, Accounting, located in New York. Here I am updating the data directly from Object Browser. For example, I can edit the department name field and then save the changes to update the record. After updating, I ran the query select asterisk from debt again. Now we can see the department name has been changed to ACC, while the location remains New York. I am updating again. I can also insert data without writing SQL code. From Object Browser, I just click on Insert Row, enter the values, for example, Department 20, Research, located in Dallas, and then create the record. Here we see 2 rows in the debt table, 10 Accounting New York, and 20 Research Dallas inserted successfully. After running select asterisk from debt, we can see 2 records, Accounting in New York and Research in Dallas. Next, I am adding another record with department number 30. After that, I added another record with department number 40. Now I am going to delete one row from the debt table. We can see that one row has been deleted. Now we will see how to use the truncate command. When we truncate a table, all rows are deleted at once, and the table becomes completely empty. Here I am selecting the truncate table option. This will remove all rows from the debt table at once and make it empty. After running select asterisk from debt, we see no data found. That means the truncate command has removed all rows, and the table is now empty. So in this session, we learned how to create a table, add columns, modify and rename them, insert and update data, delete rows, and finally use truncate. That's all for today. See you in the next video.